What is going on? So we've got a little update for you today. I done a video on this whenever this first come out and got big, and now I'm wanting to do a little update video on this same topic. So it's about the tournament fishermen, alleged cheaters on Lake Erie that stuffed the walleye with the fishing weights. And unless you've been living under a rock or in a cave, you've heard about this. So, as far as this is just an update from the last video that I made. So it says in this news article, authorities reel in anglers Jacob Runyon, 42, and Chase Kaminsky, 35, after the pair were suspected of fishy behavior at Lake Erie Walleye Tournament, Trail Tournament, where they could have taken off with almost $30,000 in prize money. Runyon of Ohio and Kaminsky of Pennsylvania were indicted on charges of cheating, attempted grand theft, and possessing criminal tools, all felonies. So it's saying that they have been were indicted on charges of cheating, attempted grand theft, and possessing criminal tools, all felonies. So it's saying that all these charges are felonies that they're charging them with. Cheating allegation connect the two begin when tournament director Jason Fisher thought their fish was much heavier than what is typical for walleye that size. And then it goes to talk about the crowd. So a couple other things that I want to mention from this ad right here that I want to highlight. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources seized the fish as evidence. Search warrant advocates stated that 5 walleye had 12-ounce lead weights and 2 8-ounce weights in addition to fish fillets. Okay, so this is where everything gets confusing. I saw the video and it has an 8 on one of the weights. One news article that I read said 8-pound weight. So we know that that isn't possible to have each weight to be 8 pounds. And a lot of people were in the comments with different ideas on the weights. Usually on how a weight works is usually the ounce is stamped on the weight. The article that I read to begin with on the last video said that it was a total of 8 pounds. Okay, a lot of people misunderstood me there. I wanted to clear that up here. I'm not going to say exactly, but I have read in articles that it said that they even stuffed a pair of pliers. I didn't see the pliers in the video. I did see the weights and the walleye fillets. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources seized the fish as evidence. The boat owned by Kaminsky, okay, this boat, from what I've read, was won in a tournament previously. I usually, whenever, I don't have anybody on my fishing jerseys that I'm not sponsored by. I don't have Bullet on my tournament jersey. I'm not sponsored by Bullet, but I do have my other sponsors that I work with on my jerseys. So why would somebody have, doing free advertising for Ranger boats? That's kind of beyond me. But anyways, a boat owned by Kaminsky and used by the anglers was seized by officials in Pennsylvania Tuesday. Okay, I'm gonna roll some footage of that right now.
Today, investigators seized a boat they say was used to cheat in a Lake Erie fishing tournament last month. Mercer County's district attorney and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources obtained the warrant earlier today. The fiberglass Ranger Pro fisherman boat is registered to Chase Kaminsky of Hermitage. Investigators say he was involved in the scandal. He and his partner, Jacob Runyon of Cleveland, could face criminal charges in both Ohio and Pennsylvania. ODNR and the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office contacted Mercer County DA Pete Acker last week to assist in getting the warrant.
We work cooperatively with our partners, whether it's Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office or ODNR or any other law enforcement agency.
ODNR and Mercer County's District Attorney's Office will be using the boat and trailer as evidence in this ongoing investigation.
The trailer and fishing gear from the accused cheater were also taken. So they've taken this man's boat, they've taken his fishing gear. It looks like that the Department of Natural Resources is really coming down hard on these guys. And that's kind of what everybody's wanting to see, because, this is one of the reasons why I don't fish a lot of tournaments, because of the amount of cheating that goes on. Whether it be people, I'm not saying everybody's stuffing fish with lead, But you have some big name people that's paying guides when it's illegal in that tournament trail, and they're paying the fine. Okay, so if the fine's $5,000 to pay a guide, and they're winning the tournament, and the tournament winnings is tens of thousands of dollars, what they're saying is, okay, I'll still pay the guides, and if I win, I'll pay the fine of $5,000, and I still win. Say the tournament winnings $100,000, the fine for paying the guides is $5,000, and so I'll be honest, and I'll still pay the guides, and I'll come out and say, hey, I paid the guides, whatever, to tell me where the fish were. None of these other guys done this because they're trying to be honest, and you got one little slick Willie. You've got some big name tournament people that's doing this that we're watching, and we just don't know about. We're not paying attention to because all this stuff is swept under the rug. And so they're still taking away $95,000 when none of the other guys paid guides to show them where their fish was. They used to do that all the time, and they're doing that now. Now it's illegal, but to me, if you've done that, you should not even get any of the winnings, because the way they're seeing it, it's $5,000 less, but it's still $95,000 profit. And I'm just using those numbers for example, but I do believe the last article that I read on that, the last time that I studied into that, the fine was about $5,000 for this particular tournament trail. So another thing is when we fish these bait tournaments, that a couple years ago I fished a tournament that was strictly for this particular brand of lures, and this bait company. You couldn't use any other brand. You had to use everything this guy made, and this guy pretty much makes everything exception of a few things. But basically he had plastics, hard baits, crankbaits, his own hooks, his own weights, his own line of tungsten, his own jigs, buzz baits, whatever. So you basically had to fish all of his lures in this tournament. You couldn't fish any other lure. And these guys that won the tournament placed first place. So this guy would provide a lie detector, a polygraph, and you had to take a polygraph to get the check. So these guys went in there, done the polygraph. The owner of the bait company, whenever he asked the guy that was running the polygraph, he said, "Are these guys telling the truth?" And they said, "No, I don't believe that these guys are telling the truth." So he says, "Well, let's go out and look at your boat. If you've got one lure of mine tied on to all your rods, we'll give you a check." So they go to his boat. I walk with them. We open the rod box, or they open the rod box. I just kind of stood back and watched. He looks into the rod box, and he said there's not one lure of his in that boat. None of them tied on to any rods. There's not any of his lures in that boat. And he looks at the guys and he says, "Boys, I'm going to give y'all a few minutes to get out of here, and I suggest y'all do that." They nod their heads and they cut out. They don't expose these guys for cheating. He didn't, and I'm not saying we should just go whoop up on them, but we need to know. I mean, these guys, they've taken their fishing gear, they've taken their boat, they've taken their electronics, they have taken, from what I have read, they have suspended their their fishing license. So these guys aren't even going to be able to hunt or fish anymore because they've taken their license. And that's what kind of needs to happen, because we don't need these guys. We don't need guys like this. We don't even need to be associated with these type people. And the same type people that cheat in these small tournaments are the same type people that cheat in these big tournaments. And all I'm saying here is everybody wants to see these guys prosecuted, and it looks like they're doing the right thing up north. And I'd like to see a little bit of that go on down south, and I'd like to see our tournaments down here. I hope that this changes the tournaments, nationwide, whether it's bass fishing, walleye fishing, whether it's crappie fishing or catfishing. All these tournaments, they should have a polygraph. That's, in my opinion, that's the best way. I don't know if metal detectors pick up lead if they'll sense lead, but I believe that we can get a polygraph. That doesn't cost very much money. Take it from the tournament winnings. It angers me for that, but that's the way it should be, because anytime you have money, you're going to have dishonest people trying to take that money. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to. That's up to you. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I hope that God blesses each and every one of y'all. Until next time, y'all have a good day.